All right, quick one. Basic tool grinding. It doesn't matter whether you're grinding a high-speed cutter tool bit like this. Hopefully that'll show up in the frame. If you're grinding a high-speed tool cutter, or whether you're grinding a plane iron, or you're grinding a chisel. It's the same process each time. What we're trying to do is, if you look across this is an old jack plane, 1800s Auburn Tools plane. As you can see, I don't know if you can see the logo on the Auburn Tools, made by prisoners in New York. But what primarily happened with a bevel, especially the one I use in the field, is that they will get convex. The bevels will get convex, or I'll put a micro bevel on them. And after a while, you're polishing up this bevel and working the micro bevel, and there's too much of this bevel in the way. And it does nothing. All this is so you get a set 45-degree bed angle like this. This is just a relief angle so when it planes across the wood that this heel doesn't hit and keep the cutting edge from cutting. So this bevel does nothing. Just all it is a relief angle. So there's a lot of talk always about 25 and 30 and this, that, and the other thing degrees. But the plain simple fact of the matter is all this is a relief angle. Now, the sweet spot for these is around, depending on what kind of wood you're planing, around 30 degrees. 30 degrees tends to hold the edge longer. But the bevel itself, except on a bevel up when it's like this, a bevel down, the bevel itself doesn't affect the cutting of the plane. The bed angle does. So is this bedded at 45? Unless you put a back bevel on this up here, this is going to cut the same no matter what this angle is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind out, get rid of some of the middle of this so this plane's easier to sharpen. So instead of polishing this entire bevel, you get rid of that, and then all you have to do is polish the leading edge and you hit some up here on the back. So first thing I'm going to do is figure out what angle this is, and I'm going to turn the angle away from me so it doesn't affect how I look at this, so I can't see it. I'm going to get this as close as I can, see what this bevel is before I grind it. It's pretty close. So this bevel's around 26.5 degrees. Let's just say that's good. All right. 26.5 is fine. The micro bevel is probably closer to 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the entire middle of this. I'm going to black up the bevel first of all. You could actually do the trigonometry on this to figure out at your angle how long that bevel should be based on the thickness, but that's just silly since it's just a relief angle. Now what I'm going to do, since it's close to where I want it, I'm going to get, first of all, I'm going to use the coarse side of my stone. I'm not going to use, I'm going to get you down so you see what I'm doing. Sorry. Okay, right there. So I'm not going to use my CDN wheel. I'm going to use my coarse aluminum oxide wheel. The coarser the wheel, the faster it cuts and the less heat it makes. And I'll prove that to you in a second by touching it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get this set so that the stone is hitting dead in the center of that bevel, which means I'm going to be basically cutting at 26.5 degrees. And I can tell that's too high. That makes it higher. So I'm going to just run the stone, see where it's hitting on the bevel. All right, so if you can see this, it's hitting right here, which means that's going to increase the bevel angle to less than I want. I want to get that moved closer to the center. So just going to that upwards, nope, down, sorry. A little bit. Pick another spot. You don't have to have, still a little bit too high up on here on the bevel. You don't have to use a tool rest. You can do this freehand if you want to, because the bevel literally means nothing. I know that's hard for guys to believe, but it's the truth. Okay, now, if you can see where it's rubbing right there, it's rubbing close to the middle. I'm just going to check it over here real quick where I can see better. So it's almost center. If anything, it's just a teeny bit close to this edge. I'm just going to get a little steeper. Okay, tighten that down if I can remember the right way to do it. Make sure that this is tight. And we're just going to grind out the center of this bevel. So it's going to make a little bit of noise here for a second. You don't need any special grinder. I've done this in the field on a customer's grinder. Use the whole stone to see what we're grinding. Alright, so if anything, I'm going to make this a little bit steeper. See, there's more bevel up here than there is below that grind. I'm actually going to just correct for that right now. See if that makes it better. Alright, there we go. Alright, now you can see I've got equal amount here and here. I think that's closer. I'll try it a little bit more. Actually, I'm put a little more black on here right now. Just to make sure I can see where it's exactly where it's hitting. Yeah, it's a little high. I know it seems like I'm fiddling with this a lot, but this is the fastest way to do it. It's a little high now. That moved a lot after I tightened it. I didn't expect it to. It's pretty much center now. I'm just going to go ahead and grind it out until I get close to the edge. You can block up the edge if you want. You don't have to go all the way to the edge, because now when you sharpen it, what you've done is you've created a hollow in the center. So now when you sharpen, you're only going to sharpen on this edge on the top. So let's just take some more out of the middle. You see it's not hot, I'm holding it with my fingers. The best way to do this is barehanded, because you'll never, ever, ever get this hot enough to overheat it. You gotta get it to about 1200 degrees to overheat one of these. You'll never get it anywhere, not even half that, and you'll be burning your fingertips down. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got the middle out of it. I could leave it like this, but I'm going to go a little bit closer to the edge just to make sharpening faster. I mean, I've got the middle gone now, if you can see that concave part. And again, see, I'm holding it with my hands. It's not hot at all. No worries about overheating the edge. See how even it's coming out, how perfect I am on that 26 with just the same amount on both sides. Take it down just a little bit more. Maybe one teeny bit more. All right, so hopefully this will show up. That's what the bevel looks like now. Nice and even, square. I got a teeny little bit towards the edge on the front, teeny little bit on the top. Now to sharpen this now, let me see if I can get shit out of my way fast enough to be able to do this. Let's try it. Timber framing a house up in New Hampshire, and I'm out in the field, so I actually have this box here with a bunch of planes in it and a pack of timber framing slicks and chisels, and I'm unpacking because I don't need everything anymore, but I'm going to take back with me when I go up on Monday. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm going to take back with me that jack and that coffin smoother so that they don't rust up. They're the easiest to take in the field, chisels and a mallet. But I kind of got all my tools packed up here, but let me see here. We're only 11 minutes into this, so let's sharpen this quick. I've been rust treating a couple of planes. Let me just get them out of the way. We'll sharpen this up. So this jack, you can see the rust I had on the side, and this side it had a bunch of rust on it. I've already cleaned it up and treated them with oil. Sorry that just shit all over my bench, but that's what happens when you work out in the field with your shit. So these out of the way, a little smoother out of the way, and let's see here. What do I need? Go with a diamond plate. Which one do we want? So we'll just go with this one. Doesn't matter. So we'll go with a diamond plate. What we're going to do is we're going to raise a burr first. I'm going to start with the coarse side. I can ride the bevel now. Keep it right at 26. There's no need for a micro bevel or anything like that. Make sure you get a good view. God, I can barely move around in here. Yeah, you can see what's going on. You just can't see my face. It's perfect. So this is what it looks like now. You can see the hollow out in the middle. You can see the Sharpie on the top and bottom. So we're going to take a second to get it to a burr. And there's 100, I'm going to just show you, there's 100 ways you can do this. You can go with the, now I'm kind of using the, right here, the Rob Kosman finger placement. And I wish I'd take this down just a little bit more. Let me flip you. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll only take a second. But so Rob Kosman likes to use his fingers like this. You can kind of keep even pressure across the entire bevel. I'm going to take a little bit more out of this. This might just take. Yeah, I'm going to flip you back over to the grinder for a second. This is going to take a little too long. There's no sense in having so that micro bevel is steeper than I thought. It's going to take a little too long to get to the edge, so there's no sense in dealing with that. I'll just take the whole thing out. This old metal is super hard. Just one little bit more. You could take it all the way out to the edge and do it really fast, but almost out to the edge now. So I'll get you back over here. We'll take it sharpening from there instead. Get you back looking at the stones. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. So now I'm here. You can see how little there is on the top and bottom. See how long it takes me to get to the edge now. And that's without raising it up. I could raise it up and go right to the edge, but I'm trying just to take the micro bevel out of it. Almost there. Getting there. The closer to the edge you get, the faster this will go. And if you do a good job sharpening, you'll end up with a pretty even line on the top and bottom. I should have gone, again, I should have just taken it just a teeny bit further on the grinder, but we'll just deal with it. And this is why you have diamond plates right here. Almost there, just starting to get a burr. Just starting to pull a burr. Show you the progress, just to show you what I'm looking at. But so now I don't know how the light's going to catch this, but you got a strip in the bottom and a strip in the top, and I'm almost to the edge on the top. Just starting to pull a burr in the center. This iron has a slight camber to it, I can tell, because I'm pulling a burr in the center and nowhere else. Almost there. This would take less time if I had gone all the way to the edge with when I ground it. I don't know, maybe. You can tell I'm putting just a little more pressure on the top because I'm getting thicker up there. Getting really close. It's going to roll over any second here. Burr there. Okay, I'm just getting burr all the way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll off the corners really quick. pressure on my left pinky and pressure on my right index finger. Burr all the way across now. I think this is probably got a back bevel on it because it's an older iron. Yep. So to get rid of the back bevel, I'm actually going to do that on a finer grit. No sense of doing it on the semi grit and wiping out the back. So first thing we're going to do is get rid of the back bevel. So lift up a teeny bit. You can hear the way it cuts. All right, so the burr is gone. And we're going to go back to just polishing up the bevel. So I got a good burr over here, nothing really over here. A pretty good burr all the way across. You don't need to use the ruler trick. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but I'm polished right out to the edge just with the diamond stone. The burr's back around to the top here. Just use whatever I get out for stones here. So I get some in my bag. This one dry so it doesn't fuck anything up. So let's just pull out whatever we got. It's like a 6,000. And yes, my stones live in the water the entire time. If you get lost, refine the bevel. It's more comfortable for you to work with one hand like this, you can. Just stay on the bevel and you won't, it'll take longer for you to convex it. The longer it takes for you to start convexing it, the more efficient it is in the sharpening. It's fastest when you can register the bevel like this. It's going to burr pretty much all the way across. I'm just going to check it in the light just a little bit. It's pretty polished all the way across. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this down. I'm going to roll the corners. And you can do this a million different ways. I mean, you can just register the bevel like this and just rock over to the left side and then register it and rock over to the right side a little bit. What we're trying to do is just put a little bit of camber on it and ease off the edges. You can also register it and just go like this. Rock back and forth like I'm doing right now. And all I'm doing right now is polishing the edge. A nice, real small burr all the way across. Hopefully it shows up in the light, but I didn't clean up the top very good. But you can see that the bevel's got a nice polish on it. We're going to take the burr off real quick. Lift up slightly. It's nice and light. Polish out the backside and get rid of all those 1000 grit scratches on there. This is not creating a back bevel. Some of these older irons like this, you know, they're just so beat from over the years that, you know, you need to do that. What I'm doing is I'm moving my pressure back and forth. And I'm just taking it off. And always the test is, you know, will it shave here? Well, you know, hope you can see that. Shave me perfectly clean, you know. You know, perfectly clean. Really nice. Actually, I nicked myself right there, didn't I? So I got a nick right here and a nick right here. That usually to me is a sign that there's an imperfection in the blade. If you look at my arm, I don't know whether it's the angle I came in on or not, but you can see I drew blood here and here. It's usually a sign to me that there's an imperfection in the blade. I'm just going to feel it real lightly. And I can feel it right here. There, right on this side right here. I don't know if it's a rust spot. There's a little imperfection right here. That's what nicked me. And you can see from the angle that that's exactly what nicked me is this. I can feel a rough spot right here. So I'm going to work on that side just a little bit longer just so it doesn't, it'll create dust and make the plane clog. And it's gone now. So if I catch the light right, you can see the edge is completely polished all along there. Small polish line all along there. You can see the bevel is, you know, aside from I didn't just wipe it off, but the bevel is polished. And this one's done. You know, aside from my blood. It's just a bare strop. It's like a mirror now. I don't know if I'll be able to get the light right. I can't see in the mirror in the finder. But it's like a mirror now, top and bottom. Back's polished out all the way across, except for some old one. I got this grinding marks over here, but it's still sharp. So and as you can see, it shaved me perfectly clean, not pull any blood anymore. So that's how you grind out a plane iron. And usually, if I wasn't videoing it, goes a little bit quicker than this. Let me get you up here. So usually, if I wasn't videoing, this goes pretty quick. But you can see on the plane iron, the center is all ground out still. You polish top and bottom. And now when you sharpen it, you can just hold the bevel and hit it until you start getting convex a little bit, and then you just grind it really quick, and away you go. Nothing special. You can grind it by hand. You don't need a tool rest. The tool rest makes it a little easier, but that's it. And if this was a damaged iron, what you would do is you would grind it flat like this till the damage was gone, then put Sharpie along the flat, grind it until that flat was gone on the grinder, then go to sharpening, and same thing, you repair it really super quickly. So that's it. Back up to timber framing on Monday. It's Labor Day weekend, and I just wanted to shoot a quick video because I was going to take care of this while I was derusting crap, and that's it. This iron is 1870, good hard steel, laminated, and you can still, you can whip through it pretty quick. So hope that makes sense, and hope it makes you not fear grinding your irons, because you can do that with chisels and everything. All right, so have a good day.